Let's go guys, kita lanjut game kedua antara tim Liquid Echo versus RSG PH. Kalian yang lagi nonton jangan lupa dibantu like, dibantu subscribe, oke? Thank you guys. Irat kali ini memakai Hayabusa, Karl Tizi yang memakai Julian. Tidak ada yang memakai Lance kali ini ya. Kayak gue baru lihat deh Irat pakai Haya, pernah ya? Lupa gue.
And already causing a bit of havoc in the mid lane against a Liquid on the red side.
Zax-nya kali ini juga dipakai sama Sanji. Anjir kayak tukeran draft, cok. Edit Zax sama Julian dipakai tim Liquid PH sekarang.
I think the first thing that really caught my eye as we entered the Land of Dawn and as we entered the portal was 3 purifies given over for RSGPH. That's a lot of respect, and they understand that JP is going to be able to find these moments, but a lot of aggression already in the bottom side of the map.
Tapi Iratnya belum level 4, hanya bisa menggebuk-gebuk.
So not able to punish that, and that means Carl will have that EXP lead straight away.
That's going to be a problem, right? What's RSGPH's idea here with their drafts? Are they
Soundport yang
really
dapat
menglasit
kalau mang XP.
neutral objective go? Because if that's the case, then this is fine.
Saat ini belum ada first blood, duit masih sama. Persentasinya 86%. Tim Liquid PH gile.
86% for TLPH, so we can already conclude that this has been a huge upset.
Yeah, a lot of the audience agreed with us in saying that Liquid should have the better chances here. RSG definitely catching everyone off guard, but a nice freeze, great
Langsung
combo.
digas JP-nya. Satu hit, buset. Harus belum diamankan Irat. Irat galak banget ya.
Amazing way to start this off because now they're gonna have to buy
Apa kemarin di RRQ salah momen aja guys? Kemarin metanya hyper tank. Lancenya gila, Lance, Assassinnya gila sih.
That's a big resource spent, and that's a big resource that they
walaupun masih ada blunder tipis-tipis ya dari kemarin.
This puts RSG Philippines in a better position in that regard.
It means they don't have to worry about the flicker implosion for a little bit, but they do still need to contest the turtle because you can see Irad actually trying to go for some farm, which means Liquid are currently in control of it.
Langsung digas sama Nibor, tapi turtle diamankan oleh Carl Tuzi.
Actually, Bridget Frost doing a lot of damage. Sanji forced to jump out of his
Tapi
ultimate,
tukar sama JP.
real low on Carl TZ as well. He'll be able to get out alive, and RSG will immediately back off. I don't think they need to re-engage this. Ooh, Irad gets caught, Earth Shattered. Do they want Sanford? He still has his ult, so yeah, probably not.
Okay, that was a 1-for-1 trade, right? Team Liquid PH, they were able to get that turtle in the hands of Carl TZ, who had a EXP lead over. But what's going on in the top side there? Is Sanford in trouble?
Yeah, it's a 1v2 here, but he has
No
Primal
way.
Wrath. We know how strong Edith is when you got that full Wrath. Nibor and Aqua actually both have to back off and recall against Sanford alone.
Oh, wow. That's a baby 40 for you. Still able to get out of there as well. The outplays coming in buys them a little bit more time as TLPH. They focus their, attentions elsewhere here. I think they're looking for a better trade in the bottom side, trying to help Benny Cutie get to that power spike quicker.
You know Sanford definitely felt good about that one, though. Considering what happened to them in Game 1, that's a little bit of payback over to RSG Philippines. And now 4 minutes in, we can see that the net worth difference is not that high, which looks a lot better for Liquid considering their performance so far.
Yeah, I would agree, right? TLPH, they're putting up a fight here. They understand
Lanjut.
the conditions of their composition, and they're not going too heavy in these trades, right? They're not playing into the traps that RSGPH have set for them.
This 1080 kan daman.
And this is starting off quite good for the first 4 minutes of the game. And even in the lane, right, we do see that Benny QT has respected. Wait a second, did he get that?
I think he did.
Buat match ini drop lebih suka kanan sih guys, tapi guys.
And that means that RSG has a little bit of priority in the bottom lane to contest this turtle.
Skor masih 2-0, duit masih sama. Turtle kedua sudah muncul. Turtle kedua diamankan oleh Irat. Wah, anjir, kusainya.
kill to the Harry. Bridget Frost doesn't catch
Triple
anyone,
kill.
but forces Sanford back. Does he actually
Mati.
live this? Nope, he's gonna explode to the
Ini
Terizla.
sumpah.
That's 3 kills really quickly to
Kenapa galak
RSG.
banget
That
coy
was a
RSG ini
4-0
lawan
trade stuff. Irad, he's
tim Liquid gini.
he was able to get that neutral objective take. He was able to
Tim
get
Liquid
that
nih
turtle for
tim
himself, and then they win in the team fight.
salah satu tim
I
terkuat
don't
lah
really
di
understand
Filipina,
the
cok.
idea that TLPH was going for with that exchange earlier on, because
Gila,
they went
kebantai
in one
gini,
by
bro.
one, was taken down one by
Sama
one. They were scattered,
RSG
they were
Filipin.
behind in the setup, and then they lost
Dengan roster
everything with that.
barunya.
That's a 2K goldie now for
Irat dan Nibor.
RSGPH.
JP 100% expected to catch more people with that implosion. It seemed like RSG were so close together, but he only caught Light, basically the worst person to catch out of everyone. And then Liquid kind of committed onto it since JP had
Apakah
already
belum
gone in
panas
and got caught
dari
by Curse of
Benny
Blood,
Kitty,
which combos
Carl
really well with
Puzzi,
the rest of
Sanford?
RSG, which means lots of damage.
Here's the thing, right? As you were talking about that, there's something about the Tigreal that requires you to have someone else in your composition that has a big crowd control skill, right? Either it be the Terizla or the Lapu Lapu or even the Ruby that was banned out earlier, right? Because with 3 members from the side of RSG Philippines holding on to the Purify, that in itself actually is able to negate the pressure that JP is supposed to have. And when they were caught in the same position, when TLPH was caught in the same position, they at least had the Terizla. So either Terizla would open up to bait out the Purify and then JP would come in later, or vice versa. But with this composition that they brought, they don't have that much of leeway to layer the CC skills to bait out these Purifies, and then we don't really find the value of the implosions anymore.
You need a lot of game control and coordination, basically, to be able to force out the Purifies before the setup, which I think RSG already were aware of. Oh,
Wih,
beautiful
gila.
shot by Irad.
Ulti
Wasted
JP di
flicker
dodge oleh
implosion.
Irat.
Such an important cooldown for Liquid.
Rugi
He's
banget
just
itu
gone.
JP,
There's
udah
no way
ulti
they
udah
can contest
flicker.
this turtle anymore. I don't think they should risk it.
Terbuang
RSG
sia-sia,
is just
cok.
gonna stand there menacingly
Turtle-nya
and get it
diamankan
for
oleh
free.
Irat.
And unfortunately,
Turtle
in the
ketiga.
bottom side of the map, they went in for a
Refleksnya
steal
cepet
already,
banget, cuy,
right?
Irat,
So
cok.
Benny QT couldn't even find a trade to get that tower in the bottom side.
Kayak-
Okay, he was
kayaknya sih
able to get out
kelihatan
there
pas
with
konsil.
a sliver of time as Hussein was able to walk into that push. But again, right, RSGPH, they're picking up the time, they're picking up the momentum, and now Team Liquid PH are scrambling for scraps.
I can't believe this has turned out this way. RSG. Turns out they don't need to rely on early game cheese tactics either.
Gila,
This
ketekan
grab
gini,
is
cok.
really
Tim
clean.
Liquid Echo.
Gameplay is good. They know exactly what they're doing, and they are slowly whittling down Team Liquid Philippines.
Yeah,
Perbedaan duit cuman beda 4.000
understanding
menit 8
TLPH,
diungguli
right? I don't know if that's
RSG
really the
Filipina.
prep coming into this matchup or what, right? Or they woke up and they chose violence today. Because every time TLPH go in for something to look for a trade, it feels like RSGPH, there's 2 steps ahead. And the fact that they've been able to play out these team fights rather perfectly with the way that they're comboing and layering their skills has been fantastic. RSGPH, what did you guys eat for breakfast today?
That's what I want to know. It seems like the breakfast of champions, if you ask me.
Conceal?
Instantly conceal.
Misi
They see
rahasia?
Sanford and Kaltizi
Wah,
out of
Sanford kena.
position. They want to engage on it, but here comes JP and Sanji.
Oh enggak guys, diselamatin Kartuzi. Tahap ini berulti dapat 2.
We can see
Kira ulti.
gonna be able to use that
Tidak ada yang
enhancer to
mati.
get out. Ogi Shadow Kill doesn't quite do enough damage. Irad actually
Lah.
staying under the tower, maybe a bit too long. Cost
Iratnya
him
kok nggak
his
balik
life.
bayangan, cok.
Sanford onward, finds Nebo,
Nah, gitu,
doesn't have
guys.
the
Kadang
Earth Shatter follow-up.
masih
Team
suka
Liquid
blunder-blunder
low, but they're able to slowly
nggak jelas.
separate RSG, forcing the flicker out from the Edith. Nebo has to get out of here.
Nah,
Zaman
kan
forces
ke-comeback
Kusei
nih.
to pick off Sanford.
Nah, kan.
Light also gonna be picked off, and Kusei gonna be shut down. This could be bad. RSG
Tuh,
losing
blunder-blunder
members
gitu,
left
guys,
and right.
Irat,
Team
guys.
Liquid finding the opportunity they've been waiting for, the passive on Aqua only
Nah,
delays
ke-comeback ini
his
sama
demise.
Liquid.
And Team Liquid find 4
Lihat sekali
for
momen.
1.
Did you see
Rata dapat
Benny
lord.
QT, Staffa? Did you see the way that
Dapat
he
sih harusnya.
weaved in and weaved out of that team fight? He didn't
Free
have
lord
his holy
buat tim
trinity,
Liquid
and he
Echo.
was still able to do that. Now he does though, with those many kills under his belt, with those assists under his belt, he has built in that DHS, and this could be the
Suka ada
turning point
gerakan
that
tambahan
TLPH
gitu, cok.
has waited for and has severely
Wah,
needed
kayak
the
game
first
pertama
9
tadi
minutes
tuh
of
baru.
the game.
A fight like that completely resets advantages you have.
Duitnya
and we are
jadi
seeing that Liquid
sama.
already even
Bener-bener
up the
kesusul
net
duitnya.
worth. And that is what they're playing for.
Satu
We
kali
already know
momen
how
doang
scary
padahal.
Moskov can be once he finishes those items. So RSG may have just
Langsung
made
tim Liquid
a
ingin
massive
menguasai
blunder.
maps.
Yeah, the Team Liquid PH, they adjusted really well, right? They understood that when things get a little bit chaotic, when these team fights get a little bit chaotic for RSGPH, when they're able to bait out these resources before they go in and commit for it, that's when they shine and
Nibur
that's
ulti
when
di
they come out
cancel.
on top, and they were able to do that. So there needs to be a way, and there needs to be a situation where they can replicate that kind of success, because the fact that Nibur already used his penalty zone, the fact that Aqua already used in her ultimate as well, allowed Benny QT to come into the team fight, able to weave in and weave out and dish out the damage that he was supposed to
Gila, di
have
mekanik
in
kalau
these
tuh
team
di
fights.
Irat.
I don't know if Irad
Tapi
made
Irat
like some kind
malah
of
memilih
misplay as well,
mundur.
because he just stayed under the tower for
You're
way
right.
too long. He was the first
Karena
one
ultinya
taken out on
Julian
RSG
skill 2-nya
side,
bisa ngedodge
and that
ulti
just gave a
Haya
green
ya.
light to Liquid to slowly edge forward. And we need to not see that again, because now, just with that single victory, Liquid are able to take control of RSG's jungle.
They have a 3,000 gold lead now as well, right? So completely tables turns, right? The tables have turned for the side of Team Liquid PH just over that momentum. And the fact that now we can see Benny QT with the Holy Trinity. Kusei doesn't even have Holy Crystal just yet, right? He only has 2 items under his belt. He's on the way to it. But in these team fights, what do you think, right? Do you think that RSG Philippines still have an advantage?
RSG's draft is definitely still better somewhat in terms of direct 5v5, just because of how well Carmilla, Aurora, and Hayabusa work together in terms of doing damage. But if Liquid are able to properly control their approach, we've already seen that they are able to separate RSG and take them out one by one. So it is going to be a bit of a skill matchup here.
Yeah, I agree with you. It just makes this even more precarious.
Jadi
with the way that
seimbang
they're
ini
set
guys,
up,
game
right?
ya
It
guys.
looks like it's not as straightforward as we would expect for TLPH. I would say that the win cons for TLPH and their composition is a lot more difficult as compared to RSGPH. So they have a little bit of homework, but it looks like Aqua's feeling it, by the way. Do you see his item? I think he went in with the movement speed boots, actually. So very aggressive build. He understands that he needs to be very he needs to think about the way that he positions in these team fights a lot better. And then he goes in for Sky Piercer on top of everything.
He's the one in charge of stifling momentum on the enemy side, and as long as he's able to hit someone, Sky Piercer can proc. So having the most AoE does make sense to go for that. Though if it doesn't work out, could be greedy. Conceal gonna be used at a
Lordnya, Lord
kind of
level 2
strange
ini.
timing actually. Penalty zone catches out JP. JP on top of Light. Curse of Blood not available yet. So
telat
RTZ
Iratnya.
gonna be able to get the Lord.
Tak telah diamankan Carl tuh sih.
Clear up the Dominator's descent. Nibor though
Buset,
gonna be
Benny-nya
abandoned
sakit
by
banget, Cok.
himself. So Benny QT finishes him off.
Connect lagi Benny gitu-nya. Masuk lagi.
Irad already picked off. JP jumping in front to
Wah,
stop
GG
RSG from
menang.
escaping. Sacrificing his immortality to do so. And getting Light in exchange. Carl!
Buset,
Jumping straight into the base.
Kartezi.
That's a double kill for Kartezi. And he just stands there. Oh! The Winter Crown to avoid being frozen
Endong.
as well. The man still got it.
He does. He
Endong,
blocked that
guys.
just in time for him to evade that
7
damage. And
detik
it looks like with
dari
4
setelah
members down, TLPH are looking in for
GGN.
the kill.
Yep, the Lord's crashing down.
Lihat,
It's a 5v1.
satu momen
There is
tadi
nothing
langsung berbalik
Aqua
keadaan gitu
can
kan.
do. It is gonna be a 1-to-1
Padahal blundernya
as
kelihatannya
Liquid Echo
kecil, Cok, tapi
returns
fatal
the favor
anjir.
against RSG Philippines.
Nice try RSG. Good game Tim Liquid. Kita lanjut ke game ketiga.